What's happening, Pokemon World? I'm Mark Wilson. Today's video is the up-to-date version of a video I tried to make 2 years ago. But in the process of making that video, my MacBook shut down and I lost everything because I forgot to save. I was so angry, I ended up losing my desire to make more videos, which is why 2 years ago we stopped with Top 10 Kanto. I don't think too much has changed from that list until now. I don't honestly remember what it was, to be fair. The only difference is I haven't really played any of the games recently. I barely remember my team from that playthrough. I think it was in Soul Silver. I mean, it's saved on Pokemon Bank because I haven't moved anything up to home yet. Without looking at it, I can't even remember what my team was. But that's enough waffling. Let's get to it. This is my top 10 Johto Pokemon. Number 10. Girafarig. Girafarig is just a quality design, and I love the inspiration. Palindromes. The design history is very cool, and I always like to see a design's concept. I've also used it in my most recent Johto playthrough. This much I remember. It proved to be quite useful throughout the playthrough. The reason it's not higher on the list is because its tail head isn't exactly a copy of its actual head, but on the whole, I still think it's an excellent Pokemon. Number 9. Donphan. Elephants are pretty awesome, right? And for the first Pokemon based on an elephant, Donphan does a stellar job. Fanpei is relatively late game, so I've yet to use it in a playthrough, but I definitely plan to at some point. The tire influences on the design are fine, but it probably holds it back from being higher on this list, if I'm being totally honest. That being said, it was pretty awesome in the first Pokemon movie's opening credits. Number 8. Politoed. Politoed is purely aesthetic. I've never used one in any game as yet, and I literally just like it because I think it looks really fun and really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of green, but I think Politoed wears it well, and I just think it's a better design for an evolution to Poliwhirl. Politoed is just a solid design. Number 7. Tyranitar. One of the things I do remember from that first Johto video I tried to make 2 years ago is that Tyranitar was actually number 2 on the list. It has since dropped down to number 7, not because I like it any less, but because everything above it I like more. Tyranitar looks like Godzilla, and I love the Godzilla films, so the similarity just means I love Tyranitar. It appeals to the monster lover inside me. It's a little bit awkward to obtain in game, which is probably why it's so low, and seems to be part of a big issue for me ranking things higher, for the most part. Number 6. Ariados. After I used Beedrill in Leaf Green, prior to the Soul Silver playthrough I had a couple years ago, I decided I would try to use Bug Pokemon in at least my next playthrough. This is why I chose Spinarak. And when it evolved into Ariados, I was not disappointed. I like the design, I quite like spiders anyway, as long as they kind of stay out of my business, and Ariados' colour scheme just helps it with the appeal. Meanwhile in battle, it proved to be incredibly important throughout my playthrough, and I really like it. Before I reveal my top 5, let's have a look at some honourable mentions. Azumarill, Steelix, Feraligatr, and Scizor. On the whole, I like all 4 of them. Steelix and Scizor because they evolved from Kanto Pokemon and gained the new at the time typing Steel. Azumarill is just absolutely adorable. I just love the way it looks, and Feraligatr looks cool and intimidating. But none of them were able to just edge into my top 10. Number 5. Typhlosion. So whenever I saw Typhlosion, I always got Honey Badger vibes. And with the connection being brought up more and more in recent times, I just revel in the awesomeness that is Typhlosion. He was my first Johto starter, and I've never been disappointed with him, so I rarely pick anything else. The only reason he's not any higher on the list is basically because the 3D sprite is pretty dull. Number 4. Ursaring. I really like bears. They are my favourite kind of animal, and I tend to flip between the brown bear and the polar bear as to which is my favourite. And Ursaring is the first bear Pokemon. Sorry, Snorlax. is the first bear Pokemon to look like an actual bear. I absolutely love the development from Teddy Ursa, this cute cub, into this powerful monster that is Ursaring. And I think it's probably why it's one of my favourite family lines. Number 3. Crobat. Zubat, Golbat and Crobat are like the Pokemon version of the trope that the awkward annoying kid in school grows up to be this stunning and wonderful person. I mean, let's face it, no one likes Golbat, and even less likes Zubat. But Crobat is just perfect in terms of design and battle ability. Although, as I've said, I really don't know much about competitive. I think it does so well, improving on Golbat's design. Number 2. Kingdra. I suppose the only surprise here, if you have seen my Kanto list, is that Kingdra isn't number 1 on this list. I absolutely love the Horsey family line, and I'm glad they turned it into a dragon type at this stage. I think I like Seadra just a smidge more than Kingdra, but it is tight nonetheless. Kingdra's design just feels powerful, and it is such a cool Pokemon. And finally, number 1. Houndoom. Houndoom has been my proper favourite for a long time. It ticks all the boxes when it comes to young Mark. Dark colours and edgy design. It got the new, at the time, Dark type, and already awesome Fire type. It's designed to be like a Hellhound, and for some it might seem odd that a Christian like a Hellhound design, but really, it's just further confirmation that I have good taste. I'm not as big a fan of the Mega, but I still think it looks good. And while many have come close, nothing has toppled Houndoom off of top spot. That was my list. What did you think? Leave a comment below and tell me your favourite Pokemon from the Johto region. And if you want, you can call me an idiot because I don't like your favourite. With all that being said, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to hear me waffle a bit more about Pokemon. And until next time, have a good one.